We actually use our boats. Engineering uses them, sales, our executives, and in the process of doing so, we're always making notes. Continuous improvement is the goal. And so if we go out and we say, hey, we didn't have this, or we had this, but we didn't need it, or this could be better if we changed it. We're gonna document that, and we're gonna change it, and then we're gonna try it and see how it works out.
I'm Bradley from divein.com, and we're going to be talking about the Grady-White Freedom 415. And to do that, we're going to hand it over to you, good man, who's going to explain all the details.
Yes, we'd love to go through the boat quickly. Christian Caraway, product designer for Grady-White boats. This is the Freedom 415. It's our new flagship of our Freedom model line of extremely versatile dual console boats. So let's talk about a few things. It is a Grady-White. So number one, it's going to be unsinkable. It's going to have the CV2 hull design, which is the absolute best riding hull in the industry. Softest, driest, safest, most comfortable. It's going to check all the boxes. It's going to be powered by Yamaha, in this case, quad XTO 450 engines capable of reaching top speed of nearly 60 miles per hour. And again, with it being a Grady-White, fully self-bailing, not just the cockpit, every live well, every fish box, even the cup holders are plumbed to drain directly overboard with only gravity. We haven't had any warranty claims on gravity yet, so that seems like a safe bet these days. With 13 foot 8 inches of beam, we have this expansive cockpit, dual side doors, incredibly convenient not only for fishing, but just from boarding the boat from either side at a fixed dock or floating dock.
Or for dancing.
Or for dancing, you could. Yeah, we could hang a disco ball here from the hardtop and have a good old party. But if you think about it from a fishability standpoint, if you're fighting that big fish, you don't have to worry about working it to one side or the other. Let it go where it's going to go, and just open the door on either side, reach out, the tag and release, gaff, pull the fish aboard, depending on what you're doing. Dual 35-gallon live wells in each corner, aft, port, and starboard, and a massive 459 quart thermostat controlled refrigerated or freezer box. And you can see it's got these partitions, but if you need to put a bigger fish in there, simply lift them out and stow them. Or if you want to subdivide the space for any sort of cold storage, drinks, food for the weekend, we're going to go down to the Bahamas, have a good time. Very versatile piece of equipment.
I haven't seen that on anything before.
Yeah, that kind of technology really kind of came down from the big sport fishing boats. Yeah. The Hatteras, Viking, Bertrams of the world. They used to have these big boxes that were refrigerated in the floor. We thought, well, we can adapt that to our product. Of course, we wanted it above the floor so it can drain directly overboard with just gravity. But yeah, that same sort of technology where you can go inside the port console, turn the thermostat down 32 degrees, 30 degrees, and have just a maximum amount of cold storage, whether it be for the fresh fish or, like I said, food supplies for a week out on the water.
Or the fresh beer.
Yeah, certainly plenty of room for beer. And you're gonna have a lot of people, right? So gotta make sure you've got room for all that. And to top it all off, Grady-White's patented aft folding seat. You can flip it up if you need another place for 3 people to sit down, or just fold it away if you need that cockpit square footage if you are ready to go to work fighting the fish. This is where it really is an incredibly luxurious and comfort yacht-like layout. We've got an awesome wet bar here, a centered stone countertop. It's not low maintenance, it's no maintenance. It's non-porous, you're not gonna stain it. Obviously it should be stable with it being outside. Incredibly tough. If a rod butt is to go awry, you're not gonna have to worry about chipping it or cracking it, and it's gorgeous.
And you can put hot plates directly on that.
Right on top of it. Electric grill, freshwater sink, drop-in cutting board for that. So again, if you do want to still use this as an extension of your cockpit, you can do some bait cutting here, some rigging, drawer storage below, refrigerator in the middle, and of course a trash can unit all the way inboard. But how about this for entertainment? An electrically actuated door that disappears into the wet bar. And now you can have all your glass stored here, bottle storage, your bourbon collection, red wine, it's up to you. Or if you prefer to have this, again, for more utilitarian use, all the organizers lift out. You can have paper towels, you can have tackle boxes, all kinds of knives and pliers, whatever tools you need. So that space is a good mix of, do I want to go out and entertain 20 people? Do I want to go out with my buddies and go fishing 40 miles offshore? It can do a little bit of everything.
And it's classy too. It's a nice aesthetic Nice gloss
Yeah, we've
finish
added a
as
lot
well.
of teak accents, and you'll see some black accents throughout, and then obviously some chrome, some stainless bling. A lot of traditional elements so that this boat's going to look like it's still on trend 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now. It's not going to go out of style because we're not jumping on the latest design trends that'll be here today and gone tomorrow.
Nice handle for the step up here.
Yeah, well,
Maybe not intended, but it works.
We actually use our boats. Engineering uses them, sales, our executives, and in the process of doing so, we're always making notes. Continuous improvement is the goal. And so if we go out and we say, hey, we didn't have this, or we had this, but we didn't need it, or this could be better if we changed it, we're going to document that, and we're going to change it, and then we're going to try it and see how it works out. Moving forward, we have this aft-facing mezzanine seating area. This is another feature that came down out of the bigger sport fishing yacht design. It's elevated, it's a step up from the cockpit sole. So when you're sitting there and looking out the back, you have great sight lines. You can see over the cowlings of the motors, so if you're trolling offshore, you can see all the way back to your lures. And you're protected, you're under the shade of the hardtop, inside the windshield. And how about this? Obviously cup holders, place to put your phone down, a place to hold on, but also air conditioning blowing right on the back of your neck.
That's nice.
So for comfort, I'm not sure it gets much better than that. If we figure out a way to enhance it further, we'll certainly do so. Could spend an afternoon there pretty easily.
A few afternoons. A few afternoons.
Yeah, well, if you think that's good, check out this helm station. So again, with the 13-foot 8-inch beam, massive amount of interior space. Here we've utilized it with a full height wraparound windshield. So the sides, the fronts, everything's completely enclosed, and you actually can add a canvas drop curtain bulkhead on the aft side of the helm, and you can completely climate control this interior space. So you can cool it off with the air conditioner. If you need to heat it up with a reverse cycle heat, you can do all that. And then what can we do under this hardtop? A little bit of everything. On the port side here, we have a seating arrangement. As you currently see it configured, 2 tables, so almost like a booth style seating arrangement. You have 4, maybe 6 people comfortably sitting around a big dining room table. If it's not lunchtime, you can fold this over. This can actually be adjusted down to a coffee table or a cocktail table height. And this outboard table can be lowered all the way down to the seated height with a cushion added. So now it's a U-shaped, very social seating arrangement. Or even more comfortably, it converts the seat on the outboard side to a lounger. So either a forward-facing lounger or an aft-facing lounger. Again, with cup holders, phone chargers, grab rails, air conditioning vents, everything you need right here at your fingertips. And incredible visibility. Again, out the back, if you're trolling offshore, or facing forward if you're just going out for a cruise.
Huge windows.
Massive windows. Again, incredible visibility. You'll notice that all the pillars that support this massive hardtop are all very discreet. We've pulled the A-frame pillars in the front around the corners, so they're further outboard, giving you better expansive visibility out the front. And then they're tucked neatly inside the glass, so the profile on the outboard side is elevated and enhanced from that. The helm station, this is where we're going to take control, right? This is the captain's connection to the vessel. Individual helm chairs for the captain and the companion or the first mate. Newly styled helm. You can see it's very elegant, a hint of modern, but all blacked out, so all the components blend into the helm seamlessly. Real carbon fiber panels, stainless steel push button switches, and all of these vinyl touches that just kind of soften it up and give it that added luxury with these double stitch quilt lines on top. This is where visibility is really important, right? The captain's got to see where you're going. Incredible visibility, not only out the front and the side, but all the way around and looking aft as well. If you want ventilation, we have vents starboard, port, center, and above, all electrically actuated, all buttons right here at the helm. So we can open it all up in a matter of seconds, get all that airflow in. If we'd rather climate control it, cool it off, or heat it, you push all those same buttons and close everything right back.
And you got the joystick and
we do.
thruster action?
Yep, so we have Yamaha Helm Master EX, full maneuverability, which is the joystick. We have Yamaha Autopilot. We do have a bow thruster, wiper control, stereo, wireless, phone charger, a little bit of everything. Zip wake, which is our dynamic trim control system, and interceptor style blades that drop off the transom for leveling the boat. It actually does that automatically, which is very nice. And no controls for it here. We do it through the Garmin's, but we also have the Seakeeper 6 gyro stabilizer, which is a standard feature on this model.
Nice on such a wide boat.
Yeah, and I should mention all of this is powered by a Panda Fisher diesel generator, 30 gallons of diesel. So you can go out for a weekend, not worry about having to go back to the dock, plug in, recharge, or go fill up with more diesel. It's going to run quietly and it's going to power everything on the boat.
What's the sweet spot speed of cruising?
Very comfortably in the low 30s, low to mid 30s. Yeah, you could go a little bit slower. Obviously, you can go quite a bit faster with the boat topping out around 60 miles an hour, but very comfortably around 32, 33 miles an hour.
And then generally nautical miles. What's
as far as range? I don't have the fuel burn off the top of my head, but we do have 536 gallons of fuel. Really neat feature there. We actually, because we have the dual side doors in the back, we did dual fuel fills. So when you approach the fuel dock, you don't have to think, oh, do I need to turn the boat around, or do I have to drag a dirty fuel line all the way across to the other side of my boat? Just pull up to the dock, whichever side's most convenient. There's going to be a fuel fill right there next to the side door. And this is what's really nice about a dual console arrangement, especially on this scale. But we have two completely separate interior spaces. And something that's very unique is the way we've configured the doors for these consoles. You can see they actually slide. So as opposed to you having to hinge it open and then close it immediately after going in or out of the compartment, you can actually just slide the door. It disappears inside the deck. And that gives you the opportunity to leave them open. So if you have kids or grandkids down here hanging out, or just some of your friends want to get out of the sun for a little bit, go down and relax, you can leave the door open, keep an eye on them, conversate with them from the helm station. And then also that allows the interior air conditioner to work in conjunction with the helm air. So now you have two air conditioners that are working together. All the cabinetry and woodwork you see is all solid oak. It's custom handcrafted. Just in the cabinetry, there's caning inlays in the doors. And then on the wall, you'll see that woven seagrass material, which is just a really nice accent. With the thought being, the interior design scheme should be similar to a really high-end beach house, a vacation home, a retreat that you're going to go to get away from the world for a little while and just relax. Similarly, on the starboard side, we have the dedicated head compartment, but you see a lot of those high-end materials and treatments repeated over here. In addition to all the cabinetry, we have a quartz countertop with a hand-hammered nickel sink and a couple of stainless organizers that add a little bit of bling, but also just give you a spot to put your hand soap, your toothbrushes, your toothpaste, your hand lotion, all the things that you'd take with you if you were to stay on the boat maybe for a weekend or overnight.
It's really quite elegant, actually.
It is, and you also notice all the lighting's indirect. So the compartment is very well lit, but there's not hot spots, there's not puck lights. You really don't ever see where the light's coming from, but it's all there. Now let's move up to the bow. This is really what a Freedom model or a bow rider is all about. This massive space up here where everybody can come up and number one, ride when the boat's underway. The visibility really doesn't get any better than sitting up in the bow of the boat. Personally, we'll go off fishing 30, 40 miles and I'll ride up here the whole way. This is the best seat in the house. But when you get to that spot, if you just want to pull up to a sandbar or anchor up in a cove or a key somewhere, or even just hang out at the dock, everybody can come up here, be in the sun if they want, put up the shade if they'd like some shade. We have dual high-low pedestal tables, right? So if you want to say have lunch up here or even dinner or just a cocktail cruise, you can put one table up or both tables up, and they're gorgeous teak tables like what we saw at the helm. Or we can configure it like you see here, put them down, cushions, tons of lounge space for everybody.
How does the bimini work out here?
So the shade in the front is actually our easy up bow shade. It has 4 stainless steel receivers in the deck with carbon fiber poles that plug in, and it pulls the shade tight, and then we also attach it via a couple of camelback clips to the front of the hardtop. But with the easy up bow shade in the front, the massive hardtop in the center, and our electrically extendable sure shade over the cockpit, we have 41 feet of shaded entertaining space.
And with all that square footage, it's bigger than my apartment.
It's when you take into consideration the beam and the length,
right.
It's quite large. And speaking of, who would want to walk all the way to the back for a cold drink? We actually have insulated cooler boxes right here under the seats. So we could just lift this up, grab a beverage, maybe even use the other side, throw the waste in when we're done, and not even have to move from this spot right here. And more of those luxurious appointments carried all the way through. You can see the teak accents on the storage outboard, stainless steel cup holders, the black vinyl with the quilting pattern that matches the quilting in the backrests. And even a nice teak plate across the front with a chrome Grady-White logo.
That's like an elegant home.
It is. It's a retreat.
I imagine you'd have a hard time going back to your main time residence if you had this place.
Yeah, but that's a good problem to have, I suppose.
Great. Well, I think this is a boat that we look forward to maybe testing at some point in time. That would be excellent.
We'd love to
get a
have you
ride.
out on the water. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. That's really another area where Grady-White shine. You know, here inside the convention center at the boat show, you don't really get a sense for how good some boats handle versus others. With Grady-Whites being superior, I assure you, you will not be let down if we can get you out on the water.
I look forward to it. Christian,
Fantastic.
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.